This is really the Fighter and the Kid.
Come on, baby. I'm literally talking about East of Eden. I'm trying to talk about Steinbeck.
Well, Tim brought up a picture of Michael Jordan.
And his beautiful wife, and then
she's Latina.
I'm literally I'm breaking down a chapter from one of the great classics, and Brennan goes, "I'd like to see both hands on that big old pipe, just working out."
Motorbike.
I'm like, hey, I'm trying
to give it an Indian rub burn, baby.
No,
vámonos.
I'm trying to talk about Steinbeck.
Vámonos.
God damn it.
Ándale. Vámonos.
Ándale.
Yeah, she's pretty. You don't become the greatest at anything and not have just an absolute dime.
Well, that's right. He is the thing about being Michael Jordan. She's just. Let me see that again. Let me bring her up. She's just impossible.
It's distracting.
Sometimes it's just
think
impossible.
of her shoe collection.
Which one, bro?
Click on that right where your mouse is.
That's Pippin.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry,
no.
Never mind. Get that Warlock off of there.
Yeah.
Hey, go back. Go back to
that. She's just something else.
Yeah. Oh no, boo.
And you know when you're Michael Jordan, you win. Like it's like if you have an argument, it's like why you argue? Well, I'm the greatest.
You win at life. Also, don't wear that baggy of a shirt. But
I can wear anything he wants. He's the greatest of all time.
He's going to start doing commentating for, I think, NBC, which is going to be strange.
I'm surprised he hasn't done more of that.
Oh, sir, he's still the richest NBA player in the world.
He's the richest.
When you have all that money, it's like Rogan. Why isn't he doing Fear Factor?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Isn't Shaq?
You're right.
Michael Jordan destroys him. Jordan brand?
I know, but Shaq's in the billions.
Well, Michael Jordan.
You ever seen what Jordan makes?
Michael Jordan owns. So Nike, he gets a piece of, I believe, every shoe.
No, not every shoe. Jumpman. It's their number one selling shoe.
Yeah. And he gets a sizable chunk of that.
Yeah, every year he's like top 3 on Forbes athletes that make the most money.
Yeah.
He's a degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
Sure.
Supposed to be pretty good at it.
As he said,
But if you have that money, it's like when they're like, oh, Dana White has a gambling problem. Oh, does he?
He also wins a lot because he's so
Well, they win a lot, but even if, let's say he lost 50 mil, it doesn't matter.
Right.
They're a different league.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have the answers for you right now.
Yeah, but back to the whole, I'd love to see them two go at it.
Yeah. To be a fly on the wall.
Get Ilya and Islam.
Somebody said that. Somebody said if we could be, if you could be invisible, what would human beings use it for? And this guy was
I'd watch Michael Jordan fuck.
Guys like, well, we'd be crouching masturbators and we watch celebrities fuck.
Yeah.
Are you ready? So Jordan's net worth is 3.5 billion.
Jesus.
And Shaquille's is at around 100. I'm sorry, 3.5 billion, and Shaquille's is at 100 billion.
I don't think he's at 100 billion.
100
That's
billion.
not true.
Well,
first of all, I don't see how you. I don't.
He owns
like the likeness rights to Marilyn Monroe,
Papa John's, Marilyn Monroe. When you see the General Insurance, he owns that. He owns so much shit.
No, he's not a billionaire.
Well, this actually, you might be right. This other site says 500 million.
Around 500 million. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Now it said 500 million on this site.
Yeah,
the richest is like
makes sense.
Either Bezos or Elon, right? And they're like at what 40?
It's not
billion?
The reason you should always be skeptical.
Elon's number one. He's at like 229 billion.
Yeah.
Oh.
The reason that you should always be skeptical of that is that yes, Shaquille owns a lot, but he owns it with contingencies, meaning because he's not running the company, he has a stake in the company, and a lot of that stock that's fluctuating, it's just a different thing.
But regardless of what people say,
$500 million is a lot of money.
Stupid rich.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Stupid rich.
Yes, but he's not Elon Musk. He's not.
Well, nobody is. It's not even. It's not. They should even compare things to him. That's just wild.
Well, people who make fun of Elon Musk. Do you know that he is literally SpaceX is. At this point, what they're relying on over Boeing's contract with NASA. I mean,
but you can't be the richest guy in the world and not get made fun of. It's just the way the world works. You also can't have a big dick and do 225 a bunch of times and not get made fun of. It's just.
Hey, man.
What?
Okay.
No, I'm not saying me. I'm saying guys in general.
But I feel like you were just talking about yourself.
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
But you're right. You can't be like say 6'4" and brown with a big old dong.
No, not get roasted. No,
225 25 times.
And not get 25. What are we doing
What?
here?
No, I was throwing a number out there. I was throwing a number out there.
Okay.
Yeah. Or I don't know.
25.
30 would be a lot. 30. How many do you do?
You know, it is whatever.
Is it 36?
I'm at 36 right now. I'm a far cry from the last 4 to get 40. It's tough.
36.
36.
Well, 40 is where things start to. You got to be careful, right?
I'm gonna have to get on some shit to get to 40. I think.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those guys, I'm stronger than all of them combined. On
Yeah,
that
you are.
list.
You
Yet
can beat
they
them all up.
make all of them in the same room, but it does not matter. at the
Doesn't
end of
matter.
the day.
No. It doesn't matter. Because
God, let's see Jordan just take his girl down though.
okay.
Man.
Yeah. It might be though at this he's at his age now. He's 60. How old is he? 63.
Not close.
It might just be like,
Well, she's gonna be doing all the work. That's
Yeah,
all
he's
I
gonna be
wanna
sitting in his
see.
chair.
Oh no, I don't want to see his hairy asshole going up and down.
62.
Oh no, I'd watch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. She's doing all the work. Yeah.
Stud.
No, I don't want to see
What a
him
stud.
doing work.
What a stud.
You think his tongue's out? Anyways, what else you got?
That's a good question.
We have fan questions
Try
today.
like this.
We do?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Got a bunch of fan questions. Thank you so much, everyone who reached out.
Bryan got to get back on a plane to Texas.
Gotta go.
Eugene, Oregon. Doing stand
Oh,
up.
you're going to old Nike,
Eugene, Oregon.
Nike land.
Yes, I'm going to Eugene, Oregon. I'm going to go to
gonna see
Olson's Run.
You gonna see Cam Haines? He's
I am
up
going to
there.
see Cam Haines. He's going to come to my show.
That's my boy.
I'm excited. I love Cam.
Love him.
Hilarious.
Great dude.
Great guy. Cam Haines will be there.
You know, we'll start with an easy one. Hey guys, this question is for you both. If you had to pick one fight out of these to watch, which would you pick? Jones versus Aspinall, Ilya versus Islam, Jones versus Alex at light heavyweight,
Jones Aspinall.
or Tony Ferguson versus Khabib?
In
Prime Tony Ferguson.
Oh, prime Tony Ferguson, Khabib in the prime for sure.
Yeah, I still
Right
think.
now, it'd be Jones and Aspinall.
Yes.
Jones, Alex, fucking fun too, though.
Jones
But-
Alex?
Yeah, that's
Not really because Jones wrestled.
If you just take him down,
Yeah.
yeah. But it'd be fun, factor if he could land that one on John. But definitely John, Tom. That's what everyone's waiting for.
Yeah.
Islam and Topira dead last in that though.
Yes.
Get prime Tony and Khabib. I stand by. I think Tony would.
Is that right? Do you? I
Yeah.
think Khabib ends up getting him on his back and controlling.
That's because people forget Tony off his back was a fucking monster.
He was, but so is a lot. So is Charles Oliveira. So was.
He's all right. They're not Tony. They're not Tony.
I don't know.
They're not
about that,
Tony.
Bubba.
They're not Tony. Nowhere near. And Tony can wrestle. Charles can't.
Yeah.
And Tony catches you in the transition. That's where he's special. He
still-
was so good back in the day,
he
dude.
was so good
People
back
forget. People when he was at his prime.
When he had such a run.
He was such a
Such a
boogeyman.
run. Yeah, he was a
Great
boogeyman.
cardio, great striking, unconventional.
Yeah.
Great submissions, great off his back. His elbows off his back. You couldn't stay in his guard.
Yeah.
You couldn't just pin him down because you get eaten alive. So then guys would transition, then he'd catch you in submission. He was so good.
I think that Khabib was just.
And
so
he was
good.
more game. You know what he is? He was more game too.
Very
more
game.
game than Khabib.
Very game.
Also, strength of schedule way better than Khabib's. Khabib's strength of schedule is like fucking Florida Atlantic. It's terrible.
Yeah, I think though that our boy Khabib was just too good at controlling your hips and your legs, and that was it. He was doing stuff at the time. I don't think that people had seen. In other words, that was
Conor did pretty well against
Yes,
it.
but that was your first look with him, right? So in other words, if you were Tony and you were training, you probably weren't exposed to that Russian or Dagestani style. Once you know what to do, so Conor brought in Dagestanis and Russians.
Yeah, but Tony-
and they said to Conor, they said, "Don't let him close his hands." If you watch, he controlled his hands.
you can bring in Dagestani wrestlers and get used to that style. You can't
Yes.
bring in a guy like Tony to mimic his style was so unconventional.
Yeah.
It was so
But
it was
my
way more
experience,
unconventional.
Wouldn't you say, for the most part, when you're unconventional, you get a long way, and then you meet a real technician, like a real.
Not Tony. Tony fucking like
Yeah.
Anthony Pettis, Kevin. These are in their prime. Kevin Lee. What he did to Kevin Lee at the height of Kevin Lee's prime, he
great.
destroyed him.
Triangle.
Edson Barboza, pretty good, yeah.
Did he beat RD? He beat Rafael Desan.
In the prime, Bubba.
Deal.
In the
That's
prime.
a big deal. Edson Barboza. He fought some killers. Gleason Tebow, who's a fucking monster. Damn.
Josh Thompson was a great fight. Shout out to Josh.
Wow.
Danny Castillo was a beast. Eve Edwards, monster.
Wow.
Ramsey was tough.
Hell of a run.
Yeah, great run.
But
It doesn't matter. We won't ever see
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
But Tom and John is what I want to see.
Before your next question, Mark just showed me something.
What?
Let me.
What?
Has to do with Bryan.
No.
Let's see.
Oh, your IG upside down?
Yeah,
Get younger.
Did you do that?
No, I did it on purpose.
No, you
I was
didn't.
like-
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't know
No,
how
you
to
didn't.
set it up, so I was like, fuck.
No, you didn't. You didn't do that on purpose.
Well, I was so
Hey,
mad.
it's all good.
I really did, though. My friend goes, "We're upside down, bro." I go, "Yeah, well."
This cigar took 5 years to make.
They had to pick the tobacco. They had to rotate the tobacco. They had to age the tobacco. They had to roll the tobacco at the right time. And here I am, my friend.
Was your friend like, dude, this promo sucks?
Yeah, he goes, dude, what the fuck?
Friend Bryan.
Greg
He's got
Sebastian.
a beautiful cigar.
Can't see him.
When I want good cigars, I don't go to the Dominican Republic. I go to my Armenian friend. He knows everything. He said, Bryan, if you're going to smoke a Dominican cigar, it's going to dry your mouth out.
He knows
and your
everything about
throat. It's
cigars.
fine.
It would be nice to see what he looks like.
I know. He's such a good guy.
I've been smoking.
And you did this to him.
He
I
said,
did
Bryan,
that
is
too.
your mouth, is your throat dry? I said,
It's just a boomer move. It's all good, baby.
you know everything.
But we're talking about it.
It worked.
It worked.
It did work.
Worked.
It did work.
But it's like that thing drove me crazy. I was like, how the fuck do I turn it back? What did I do? Shoot it on?
I don't know how that happened.
Fucking drove me crazy. I was. Did I
Your phone was
shoot?
probably upside down.
Is that right?
Yeah. You're smoking cigars, probably a little high.
Is there any way to turn it around?
Not
too-
after
after
it's
posted.
posted.
No,
Not
it's
Try.
posted, no.
No.
It's just a boomer move. It's all right.
Okay.
Let's take a little break. You get sometimes a sponsor, and they'll give you things to say about the product. And in this case, I'm going to just talk about my experience, and I'm not going to hit any of the bullet points. Because there's a scent. There is a deodorant company. It's called Cremo. And it is spelled Cremo. Now, they had some of this. I don't wear cologne. I don't wear scents. But I took a look at these kind of cool bottles that we had here because they give us stuff to try before we start talking about it. And I put some on. I put the Palo Santo on. And I couldn't decide whether I wanted the Palo Santo or the Italian bergamot, which are both these beautiful scents. The Palo Santo smells like wood, but the best wood. I don't even know how to describe it to you. I could say it's got a sense of bright cardamom and dry papyrus. What does that even mean? All I know is that it smelled so good. And then Brendan started wearing the Italian bergamot. I start wearing the Palo Santo. And it's just an outstanding product. And I can talk about it's enhanced with multi-layered scent technology. I don't know what that means. I don't care. I'm just telling you it smells really good. And they've got a whole range of other grooming products for men, including shaving cream, beard oil, shampoo. It's basically an unbelievable company. And they've got scent right. I don't know how they do it. They've got it in Target. They got it at Target.com. You can find their new line of antiperspirants and deodorants and the Italian bergamot and Palo Santo scents. So go to Target, go to Target.com, check it out. It's an outstanding scent. It's the best cologne I've ever smelled. And I've spent way too much money on cologne and I never end up wearing it. And this I wear all the time. So there it is.
Okay, here's one, a little tougher. Excluding Bobby Lee stuff, was there ever anything you guys said on air that ended up being controversial that you had to apologize for later?
Yeah.
What?
Couture.
Oh, Randy Couture.
Oh.
And we felt really bad about it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he didn't deserve that, and we were just being silly and
It
not
was
thinking
so
about.
funny,
A lot
though.
of times when you say stuff on a podcast, guys, you don't realize your reach. You're just in the moment, and you don't. There's no audience here.
And then when
So we're
people
just-
hit you up, you're like, fuck. Randy
no.
was like, dude, what? And especially to me, he's like, we're a small fraternity. How can you stab me in the back?
it was
I'm like,
really
"Oh,
bad, and we
fuck."
didn't mean to. And
And
he's
Rob Dyrdek was like, that's the funniest. He goes, dude, I could not stop laughing. It was
Yeah,
so funny.
but-
I'm standing up while he's coming, like saluting.
Yeah, and
Dude,
we
it
should
was-
probably not even talk about this.
No,
actually.
what the fuck?
I don't
want to
rehash.
No, we're not
bullshit.
rehashing
Yeah,
it.
you're
It's a
right.
question.
It's a question.
We can't be soft about it.
No, you're right, and I just hated
Yeah,
that.
be
I
honest with the
hated that we did
questions.
that. I still feel bad about it, and I apologize.
Other than
to
Randy, though,
I don't think so. I mean, we never did anything malicious or intentional. We never wanted to hurt anybody.
No, it was
And
all
that
for the
goes
fun
from
of the game.
This when we started to this moment, I've never wanted to hurt anybody's feelings, and I've never wanted to use this platform to criticize somebody that couldn't criticize or defend themselves. If I criticize somebody on this podcast, it's because they're a piece of shit or a pig, and I stand by it.
yeah, but by
You
far
know.
the biggest mistake was the Bobby stuff.
Yeah, and that's of course I love
I got
Bobby.
terrible info, like looking back on it.
That was just a bad. I've said sorry 1,000 times with no reservations. I don't know what else to do. But having said all that, overall, I think we've done a good job of, for the most part, making people
I'm
laugh.
trying to think, especially compared to other pods.
We're
we
also,
really don't.
you and I are also positive.
I mean, a bunch of times with Dana White, Bryan would have to be like, dude.
Yeah.
A bunch of times. When
Yeah,
get
because
fired up.
I always said to you,
I also didn't want to burn that bridge either. Not that I need anything from them, but the UFC's done a lot for me, so it didn't make sense.
you are also a guy who is your best when you're the prince, as opposed to like so. So in other words, it's not that you shouldn't have opinions, not that you shouldn't fight back, it's not that you shouldn't say fuck off sometimes, right? And I think
it's a
great.
fine balance. I think I took that advice a little too much and leaned too much into that.
Yeah.
And I think it actually hurt me.
Maybe.
In the long, it
I
hurt
just
me in the
don't-
long
I
run.
just didn't want you to-
because I do think
Yeah.
you got to put your foot down, and I went away from being what made me who I am. And so I think I leaned a little too much, letting people get away with stuff.
I would stop you when I'd see you getting emotional and maybe saying things you were going to regret later. That's what I would stop you with. Sometimes I'd be like, I think he's going to regret this, so let's have a talk before we do that.
But the Dana White stuff also what gave me the platform too. I was
Yes.
the only fighter at the time speaking out against a ton of shit. So
Yeah.
it's double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword.
It all worked out. He's fine. I'm fine.
Yes.
There's no animosity. We're cool now.
This one says, it's the question for all of us. What are your top 2 to 3 favorite lines from a movie?
My top favorite lines are, don't overcook it. It defeats its own purpose. That's Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. And there's a lot of reasons for why I love that line, but mainly when Clint Eastwood in The Outlaw Josie Wales, he goes, you a bounty hunter? The bounty hunter says, man's got to do something for a living. And he goes, dying ain't much of a living, boy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, mine are more fun.
And then-
I think in White Man Can't Jump, we go in Sizzler with Wesley Snipes. What else do I reference? I mean, with the kids, I reference fucking Frozen in Summer, where he sings In Summer.
Yeah.
So that's just fresh in my mind. Tons of Dumb and Dumber. Tons of Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. Chin?
I can't remember. So go
Can't
with
think
you.
of- With me, I love in A Bronx Tale when Chaz Palamitri's character says nobody cares.
Yeah, I like this. Now you just can't leave.
Now you can't leave.
was actually
Oh, he locks the door?
Oh, when he locks it, now you just can't
with
leave.
the biker gang? Now you can't sleep.
But
I mean, the greatest lines were like, I was in the movie theater. I remember seeing Goodfellas when Joe Pesci was like, am I a clown? Am I here to amuse you?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's like, it was so terrifying. Or, this is Sparta.
Oh, I didn't like that line.
No?
Okay, I think
think-
I'm a little girly too, because the other one is from Almost Famous. It's when she
Great
says,
movie.
I always tell the girls, never take it seriously. If you never take it seriously, you never get hurt. You never get hurt. You always have fun. And if you're ever lonely, you just go down to the record store and visit all your friends.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Such a good movie.
Fucking great movie.
People forget Jimmy Fallon is in that movie.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's why we forget it. Yeah.
But yeah.
True.
Chin, you can't think of one? One line?
Not one movie,
No,
Chad?
I don't know if it's a great line though, but it's because Edward Scissorhands is my favorite movie.
Oh, hug
So,
me. I can't.
great
Yes, exactly.
Great movie.
Can't.
She
Great
goes,
movie.
hold me, and then he goes, I can't, and then she just grabs him. Anyway.
Such a good movie.
Because he has the scissors for hands.
That
Yeah.
was such a weird, genius
Tim
movie.
Burton.
Tim Burton is a
Yeah.
fucking
My
genius.
kiddos love that movie.
That's my
Do
number
they?
one.
They're not scared?
No.
That's cool,
Johnny
man.
Depp
They're
is
scared of Coraline.
That was when Johnny Depp proved his greatness.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, he's a great actor.
This is for Bryan. How much fun was it to be on the movie Old School? What's your most crazy story about the movie or something we might not know about Will Ferrell?
I worked with Will Ferrell, not on Old School, because I just came in. When you do a movie like that, you come in, it's your scene, and then you leave.
Yeah, he wasn't on set.
You're not
that
even
day.
really talking to
He's not
anybody.
probably on that shoot that day, right?
Yeah, and my part was really small, but they wanted me to play that character, and I improvised that line. Love, it's a motherfucker, huh? And don't worry for her. Love, it's a motherfucker. I just did that. Todd Phillips just lets me do whatever. And I remember my friend Ahmed said, dude, your line got a huge laugh in the movie theater, and I didn't go to the premiere because I'm an asshole, and I never do that
I
stuff.
bet you wish you did now.
Not really. I'm an asshole in general.
Yeah, true.
And I have problems, and I have a huge problem with acting and everything else. So no, I love being with people. I love The Hangover. That was a lot of fun. But
You don't like Eddie?
I'll tell you, I did a movie with Will Ferrell. He was producing. It was called The Goods. So I'd come back. We'd do our scene, and I'd come back, and he was such a nice human being. I'm going to tell you a story about Will Ferrell and fucking Adam. What's the guy? Adam
Sandler?
No, who wrote Talladega Nights?
Oh, his boy.
Adam McKay.
Yeah.
So those two guys, I happen to know there was a reading at the table read, and one of the big actors was not doing their job, didn't fit in. It just wasn't working.
He just wasn't a fit.
And they didn't fire that person. I'm not even going to tell you. They didn't fire the person because they didn't want to be mean. That's how nice they are. I'm serious. They're like, man, let's just make it work. I don't have the heart to fire it.
Wow.
Now that's how nice he. And so Adam. But the Will Ferrell. I remember we were kind of improvising, joking around when he was like at Video Village, and I was talking about hunting or something, and I said, "You're a hunter," and he goes, "Yes, I hunt waterfowl." And I said, "Waterfowl?" And he said, "Yes." I said, well, how do you do it? He goes, I like to hang around the tributaries. You know, his face gets really serious. Yeah. And I use long nets, and I capture all of them, the ducks especially. And I said, do you release them? He said, sometimes not. You know, the way he was doing it, I was just, and he never lets you think there's a joke. He's like, waterfowl. I enjoy hunting. So everything he says is hilarious.
He's quick with it too, huh?
Yeah, and you can't find anybody in Hollywood to say one bad thing about Adam McKay or definitely not Will Ferrell. That's my experience. Been a long time, but anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a 3-part question. Love the show. Any chance of doing a tour in Australia? Also, is there any TFATK merch?
We have TFAT merch dropping when we get to Austin. We'll bring back the Abbott Kenny Fight Club original tees, and then we're doing a 6th Street Fight Club tee as well.
I'm wearing that shit.
Yep. So we'll be doing that. We don't know if we're doing 6th Street Fight Club or Congress Ave. But we're bringing merch back. Yeah.
6th Street sounds more dope.
Yeah, 6th Street Fight Club is great.
We're bringing that back. Then what was the
Australia.
Tour in Australia? It'd be tough.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
Yeah. You got to remember, we have kids now.
Yeah.
We have kids
Yeah, it's just
now.
a different time.
Different time.
Like I stopped touring so I can be with the kiddos.
Yeah.
So it'd be tough to go to Australia for
But
2
when we went for Brendan's tour,
It was fun.
it was insane, dude.
And
The crowds are.
I don't regret any of those experiences. We had such a good time, but now it's just different. I can't leave the kids for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Will you miss the team who aren't coming to Austin?
Who are they? I don't know. I don't pay attention to the employees.
You don't know anyone that works
No,
here.
I mean, obviously, Mark and Casey are great. You're great. We'll miss all you guys.
Casey still work for us.
Yeah.
Casey's still full time. Mark work part time, and of course we'll miss you. I'll miss the boys at Golden Hour, of course, but yeah, I'm ready to go.
One thing. If you're young, just keep this in mind, everybody. Change will always happen, and you will try to hold on to things and just bear witness to the changes. It'll always be kind of moving.
Yeah,
Life moves.
nothing lasts forever.
Nothing.
I mean, we were at the Comedy Store in 2018, 2019. I was like, oh, this is so cool. This will never change. We're going to do this till we're 80.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and then other shit hit.
It'll
and
hit for sure.
it crumbled.
Yeah, it just all went away. That was my greatest heartbreak. But it's okay. I've had them before, and I'll have them again. Don't hold on too tight. And it's supposed to change. And if you're growing, never think about the past. Never think about the past. You're not your past. You're not. You just keep moving. Keep moving. Yeah.
I think a change would be good for us, though. In Texas,
Yeah.
it's just something,
Yeah.
Hey,
we're just too comfortable here.
Yes.
It's too easy to sit down, do
Yes.
this. Like, it's going to be good.
I had my martial arts teacher, I was trying to really do something with my life, and I was trying to get really good grades, and I was getting my black belt, and I was just trying to, I don't know, I was hunkering down. I want to take my life more seriously. And I said to my teacher, who was a really wise man, I said, I'm losing my friends. Like I'm not fostering these bonds with my friends. I'm not spending time. And you know what he said? He said, I know. He said, but guess what?
They're not your friends.
There are a lot of people waiting for you on the other side. He said, there are a lot of people who are more
They
dynamic.
put a knife in your neck.
And I went, motherfucker. And then he cut
And then
me.
he killed you. And the other side, he meant heaven.
That's right.
There's a lot of people on the other side. Other
Right.
side. I'm
And I
on this side.
stitched-
Not anymore.
Sink. Yeah, but he said there are people waiting for you on the other side of that wall. Keep climbing. And I went, and he goes, and they're more fun, and they're more interesting, and they're more, and all that. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be more fun. I think overall life, like quality of life's better out there for me, especially with the kiddos stuff.
Yeah,
like
fun
that.
is different, right? When you have kids, you're thinking about your kids, what's good for your kids, and that's when I'm happy and relaxed. If I'm fortifying my children's future and I have some certainty in that.
Yeah.
sense,
Also, all my friends, like my work is my social life outside the baseball dad. So it's like I really don't have time for anything else. Like I don't go to dinners. I don't hang out. Like this is my hang.
Yeah.
Just happens to be my work, which is great. You know, it is
That's
what
right.
it is. But yeah, I think it'll be fun out there. We've been doing this for so long, man. Just like
Isn't that
this
crazy?
here in LA. So it's just something.
It's gonna be new. It's gonna be
something
new. We'll have new
fresh.
people coming in.
We'll have new experiences to talk about. Like I have the same schedule every day. My biggest fit, the show I know me and Bryan will figure out, and Chin, we'll figure that out. Studios would be great. Guests would be great. Like the podcast I'm not worried about. The biggest thing for me is leaving the baseball dads. Like I have such a good crew, such good kids. And you I'm sure that everyone feels that way. So hopefully I'll find that in Austin.
100%.
Dude, yesterday T had a learning lesson because it was the first playoff game, right? And he pitches, he's the starting pitcher. And it's tough because I get worried. It's you know how I'm sure dads worry about when the kids play tackle football. You worry about CT if they're getting like their bell rung. So I worry about Tiger's arm because those fast for a 9-year-old. And I always get Tommy John surgeries up like 80% with kids under 13 because dads are pitching them so much and throwing curves. Tiger's only allowed to throw fastballs and changeups because of that. And he wants to throw a curve so bad. I'm like, no. So I don't warm him up a lot because I'm like, he'll get a ton of throws. He has to pitch on Wednesday and Saturday. So we limited him to 50 throws. First, I didn't warm him up properly. Like me and him warm up together. I do a proper warm up with him, but I didn't warm him up enough. So he started off like a little rusty. Dude, bases loaded. First inning, first playoff game, bases loaded. And I'm just sitting there like, oh man, I didn't warm him up correctly. That's why we do warm ups. We should have probably warmed up more. And one of the baseball dads like, dude, what's going on? Aren't you worried? I go, no, it's good for him, man. Let him work his way out of it. Like this is good. It would be bad if he just struck out every single kid. Because he's going to get to a point where his size and athleticism is going to catch up with him.
That's right.
Trust me, it's going to catch up with him. Whether he goes to Austin,
Meaning other kids are going to be like that big.
There's a ton of other kids out there like that, but he's facing competition now, which is good. But they're not. He can get by just being the bigger, faster, smarter kid. So it's going to catch up with him. So I'm like, no, adversity's good. I don't want him to go fucking 0 hits, no hits, no runs. Like this is good. Bases loaded, no outs. That inning, he finally warmed up, struck out the next 3, only gave up 1 run. Ooh. But the dad was like, how you stay so calm? Like, because in the long game, this is good.
That's right.
Because he needs to deal with adversity.
100%.
If he's just dominating, that's not really baseball. Like, he needs to face this adversity.
Of course.
So I like it when it gets a little, and then he's not melting down. He's just like, all right, I go, you're still warming up. You're good, bud. And then it's on. You can tell once he starts warming up, then it's on. Then it's on.
Rafael Nadal, who is one of the greatest tennis players of all time.
The tennis story.
Yeah, but it's incredible, incredible sport and incredible athletes. And he said, and it's such a mental thing. And he said, it is.
No, I know. I'm agreeing.
And he said,
tennis is a motherfucker.
Yeah, and mentally. he said they were like, you're so calm. He won Wimbledon. They go, you're so calm. He goes, no, I was nervous as hell, but my body, what I do is I learned how to actually train my body to act calm. So I'll assume a calm look, because it calms me down. So my physiology, even when I'm fucking totally nervous, you think I'm calm because I'm actually, and it's all those little things, those mind tricks that you play with yourself. Or having amnesia after you lose a point. Like just completely forgetting about
for T, the whole thing is mindset. Like you got to be a killer out there. Dude, you hit a kid, walk a kid gets a big hit. I always tell them, I do not care. You move on to the next batter. It resets.
That's right.
You can't
reset.
dwell. You reset.
Huge.
It's like you threw an interception. All good. You got to go out there, reset.
That's a huge part of athleticism.
So at 9, it's all he's working on. The athleticism's there. It's all mentality. Mm-hmm. All mentality. Mm-hmm. But then he said to me, because bases were low, or to get bases loaded, he hit a kid so fucking hard in the head, helmet on, just wham. And then that team goes, oh shit. So they're a little hesitant, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
I know this, but I'm like, and I was not upset. I just took my glass off and stared at him. I was like, dude. And I just stared at him. And then he struck all the kids out. He only gave up 1 run after that. Damn. And then he came in the dugout and he goes, hey, Dad, can you not look at me like that? And I went, I'm sorry, buddy. You're right. I shouldn't have done that. He goes, I don't like when you look at me like that. I go, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Why-
hit a kid at 55 miles an hour in the head.
Fuck.
So I don't understand this. Explain this to me. So why do you keep him from throwing curveballs? What's the difference between
Because the curveball, the torque on the elbow, and all that, it just creates more trauma for the
His
whole arm.
tendons are still developing.
Because when you're throwing the curve, it creates more torque, especially down here.
Okay.
The fastball's just here. But when you start doing all this shit and getting funky with it, that's where you get a lot of injuries.
And when you get Tommy John surgery, is that because it tears or it's just
all this inflammation,
Wow.
tears, and over
and
time.
that's so painful?
Yep. Well, it makes some guys better once they have the Tommy John surgery. It
really?
makes it stronger. Yeah. Now they're really good at it, but you don't want that at under 13. It's also a huge red flag for scouts and shit.
Yeah.
It's like buying a used car.
Kids get that under 13?
Yeah, it's up 80%.
Yeah, because they just specialize in one sport year round.
Well, because now with travel ball, kids play year round. Baseball's so competitive, and
repetitive
there's such
injury
a
or
money that they're pitching instead of playing football and basketball and baseball, they're just focused on baseball, and they're going to practice. They have their specialized trainers, and
How
all
are you
they're
going to
doing is
avoid
throwing.
that? You haven't played football as well?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He loves football. Yeah.
How much did you know about baseball previous to T getting into it? Or did you have to learn it?
I played baseball to 9th grade, but especially this is probably the last year I can be on the field with him. His IQ he knows more about baseball than I do. I can't even pitch to him anymore. So now he needs to get with like real coaches, and he has on his travel ball team. But rec, it's all dad's coaching. It's all dad's coaching. But my whole thing with him, I don't give him technique or anything like that. I know the basics. It's all about mentality.
Okay.
All about his mentality.
Right.
Here's another question from a fan. What is the goal for the fighter and the kid in 2025? I know it's
World domination.
I know it's a broad question.
Netflix,
But
doc.
would you want to do a live podcast tour, making more short films and skits, bring back merch, or have certain guests on?
Yes to
whatever?
all of it. Like, it's just a question of time, and I think Austin will spark some new creativity.
I think we'll have more time out there too.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm running so thin. I think we'll have more time out there. Merch is coming back. We'll have more guests out there. It won't be a guest every episode, but we will have more guests. The short skit stuff, I don't know. That's a whole production.
Right.
But
Okay. Here's a question.
I'm sure we'll do some live shows out there eventually.
Sure.
There's so many venues out there.
Yep.
This is another one for all of us. Brendan, we'll start with you. What is your favorite submission in jiu-jitsu?
I can
Darce.
tell you. Darce.
Darce Anaconda all day.
All day. Brian, what's your favorite hunt that you've been on?
Darce.
What?
My favorite hunt that I've been on?
Yeah.
Probably the one with Rogan and I, the last one we ever did with Steve Ranella in Alaska, because we didn't see anything and we were so miserable and wet that all I did was make
Make
all
him
we did
laugh?
was, we just laughed the whole time. Literally laughed the whole time. I just kept fucking making fun of where we were, what we were doing and shit. And Rogan was howling. And that the only time that I get to really fuck with Rogan and spend time is when we're hunting, and I can get him away from everything, and then he's a great audience, and I like being a silly goose. Somehow I clam up during the podcasts, and I don't know why. I don't feel
With Rogan?
fun. A little bit. I need to be less
Yeah.
serious.
You just gotta be yourself and not worry.
Yeah,
about
I've been really
promoting
serious
shit.
these past 5 years, and it's not helped me. Really serious, because I felt serious.
Yeah, and it'd be tough not to. You know, especially after
that was
what
my
you went
biggest
through.
challenge. My biggest challenge
Because you're
was-
not a serious guy overall.
No,
but
my
then
mother
you got
said that.
real serious.
My mother said, "You've lost your joy.
yeah,
I see your eyes.
The
they're
light,
dead."
the light dimmed. Yeah,
She
you
said
just
that.
changed, and it became like so serious.
Yeah, and that's anger, and that's like
Yeah.
all that shit that you go through. And the biggest challenge is what's so funny is the conversations you have with yourself. Like trying not to lose what made you special. Try not to lose what made you funny. Try not to lose the joy for life. Because I was such a Peter Pan. It was all about joy for me. It was all about being a silly goose.
But I also think what makes us different than a lot of these comedy duos, if that's what you want to call us, is like Bobby Lee and Santino. They're like me and Bryan have family and kids, like it's just different. So like COVID and politics, and we're older, so we're going to get involved with that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of these other comedy podcasts stay away from it, but it's just not what we do.
It's probably because we have kids, and kids really, really make you feel the world.
Makes you scared
deeply.
yeah.
It makes you
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Where,
right.
where you kind of have to address it, where it's like,
Yeah, kids take the
I was
humor
never
out of
into
you.
politics, and then when all this shit was going on, I'm like, wait, hold up.
Yep.
And they start listening to it, then becomes a thing.
It was the masks for us at first. It was like,
Dude,
wait,
bro, you want to piss me off, dude?
I remember you were in a. I remember you were talking about you were jogging and those assholes on horses were like, put your fucking mask
But
on.
it was kind of a good thing. Like I said, I went too far on that. People can say what they want, and no, I'm the funny guy. Like, no, I'm not this monster, big monster, blah, blah, blah. I went all the way from that. And then thank God COVID and just having a bunch of soft friends and like all that manufacturing together and the comics turning on each other and all this bullshit, it like woke up the beast in me. And then when those people on the horse were like, you need to put on a mask, I was like, oh, you woke up the monster. I'm ready to fight you in the horses.
I'll punch your horse in the face.
Yeah. I'm down for this.
Chin, what's the fish you've been most proud of to catch in your life?
The fish that I'm most proud to catch.
Chin caught it.
I don't know why I just said I'll punch your horse in the face.
Yeah.
Because that's a really dumb thing to say. And
No, it's
you
not.
wouldn't.
It's like Blazing Saddles. I'll punch
No.
a fucking horse.
No, we're not punching animals.
Now, if that horse said the same thing that guy said,
That horse would be like, really? How about I fucking stomp your head in?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But it just kind of slapped it kind of slapped me into it. And when the guy said that to me, I was like, oh, I'll be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll meet you here.
Yeah.
But then also having two young boys, it's like that's what they don't need the soft dad. That's not what they need in this world.
No.
So that's why I'm back, baby. I'll fucking rip your head off.
I like that version of you where you're like, how about I twist your head off your fucking shoulders?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
All right, so I'll answer real quick. It was
Chin
in
caught
Alaska.
Yep.
In Alaska, so just this huge halibut.
Dude, not to interrupt Chin. Chin can fish his ass off and drink like 30 beers and still
another
catch
thing
more
too.
And
fish
be
than
totally
all of us.
sober.
Yeah,
He'll drink 13 drinks.
It was
and be, like,
wild.
completely normal.
That Alaska trip, I was so hesitant to go on.
Yeah.
It is the best vacation I've ever had.
Aw.
It was a great time.
It was. I would go every year. It is fucking
With
tastic.
Tiger too. That
It was
awesome.
my
the
son talks about it
wildlife.
once a week.
The wildlife we saw, the whales and stuff. I mean, it's like a whole wilderness area.
It was so cool.
All right, let's take a little break. It is playoff time. You're still watching games? You're missing it. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. So just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Fix Flex plays. All right? Nobody's dropping their better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competition, you could be looking at 500 times bag in your pocket, okay? A 500-time bag in your pocket. So new customers get $50 in bonus picks with just $5 in entry. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code FIGHTER. That's code FIGHTER to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
You would wake up at 5, get back by 6, and you're exhausted, and you eat around the fire. It was so much fun. It was so dope. That's where I was like, I'm doing it all wrong. We don't need to stay at the Four Seasons, all this shit.
No,
the
man.
kids don't give a fuck. I sure as hell don't. I thought that's what they needed. No, what the fuck are we doing?
Get out there.
Me and Tiger would pass
there on
out. It was so much fun.
Boat.
And he was just beating those fucking flounders to death.
And just reeling in.
anyone
Reeling shit in.
anyone that caught anything, you just beat them. I was like, was he Dexter? What the
Yeah.
fu's going on here?
Yep. Yeah, he took
He's a
it.
little too into
loved
killing
it.
him. Yeah, he
He
loved
it.
beating the shit out of him.
Yep.
He hit the fuck out of him. Just ding, ding,
Goose.
ding. Fisherman was like, okay, dude.
Big old boy.
Then, Sanaz, if you could go back and either be in attendance for Brendan's fight and KO with Crop, or would you want to watch Jordan win Game 5 against the Jazz?
I'll answer the question. Jordan win Game 5.
I don't like you answering that for me.
Yeah, what was this, the 1950s? She
Sorry,
had a
bro.
house.
Sorry, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Apologize.
Again, we all know who I think the GOAT is. We just had this discussion, and I don't think it's Jordan.
You don't think it's Jordan?
I think it's Kobe.
I do think it's Kobe.
Most people don't have him in the top 5. but
Well, okay. We'll get to that later.
Carry on.
Would actually, I don't know if I saw you fighting.
The
I might
Cro-Cop
be-
one was good though.
I might be
Real
terrified.
battle. Yeah. Oh, it was terrifying. Yeah.
I'd probably cry.
Cro-Cop one was sick though. Main card UFC 128 in New Jersey.
broke your nose and you went
Sold
like
out
this.
arena. Yeah, it was fucking
See,
great.
but in my head, I don't know how to separate that it's a sport and you guys don't hate each other. I would just attack
They
him
hate each other in
afterward.
that moment. I mean,
Well, I get it, but I would like attack him afterward for hitting my friend. You know that my head's weird like that.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a good
That was
fight.
a fun one. Yeah.
yeah, that was where you're like, oh man, oh man, like that guy's a pro fighter and he shattered your nose.
Yeah.
And you were like, that's not enough. Like that's when you realize like if you're gonna fight a giant like you, and if I punch you as hard as I can in the face, it better catch you in the good part of your jaw, because it's not gonna be good. You can hit a big dude. Like a lot of people don't realize that you can be my size and you can really be good at, you can practice your punching and you can fucking hit a big guy like that. If his head's here and he catches
gonna
it
do
here,
nothing.
you'll break his nose. It'll hurt him. It's not going to be enough because
stop him? No.
No.
Doesn't it immediately blur your eyes?
Oh
though?
no, not when you're angry.
I didn't even feel it.
No.
Didn't even feel
He's
it.
coming for you.
I
and
remember
then it's
thinking,
gonna be a problem.
I thought I was just gonna fucking dog walk Cro-Cop.
Did
I was
you?
like, I'm gonna steamroll this old man. And I got there, I was like, holy fuck, he's
Got
strong.
some tricks.
He's just so like dense and just strong.
His legs are this fat.
Yeah, and then I kept taking him down. That was the first time that was the first takedown I ever had.
Yeah,
against
you're
Cro-Cop.
double leg.
I kept
You're
double legging
double
him
leg.
just to set up the
People
striking.
couldn't stop that double
No.
leg. What was it, just football,
Timing,
right?
timing,
Yeah, timing.
all timing.
And speed. You're a lot faster.
Timing
than
and
I expected.
explosive, yeah. But I kept taking him down. But even when I take him down, I try and do this pass. I worked on black belts, everyone, but he worked with Verdum and was ready for it and just kept punching in
Really?
the face. I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a war.
Yeah, war.
That was cool.
This one is for Brendan. I'm at 165 for 8 reps, fresh at bench. I want to be part of the 225 bench club,
So do
and I
I.
want to be a diesel dad. Is there anything like plyometric push-ups after each set of bench to do, or do I need
More bench.
HGH and steroids?
I don't know if you need steroids. TRT would help for sure. But if he's at 165 for 5, he's close to 225.
I mean,
He's
also
close.
you're also like
He's strong.
165 for 5.
How much did he say he weighs though?
He didn't say that.
So here's
And
the
if
thing.
he's over 200, then we got to step your game up. Bubba.
Yeah. I was going to say also 165 for 5, with all due respect, isn't that hard. I can do that. I did something recently. I'll videotape it for you. If you're me, if you're doing 165 for 5, you're not strong and you're not
It
diesel.
depends how much he weighs.
Yeah, if you're 40
Diesel
pounds,
Dad's a
that's lot.
mindset though too, and we do have Diesel Dad merch coming for Father's Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it depends how much he weighs for 165. But the whole thing with bench, like, what should I do to get better at bench? What he should do is max out and then rest a minute and then squeeze out as many as you can. Rest 5 minutes, squeeze as many as you can, and that just keeps the reps coming. It keeps building on the reps.
Yeah.
But the only way to get a bench is by benching, and doing some push-ups at night.
Okay. This one's for both of you. Christian wants to know, have either of you ever rolled jujitsu with Joe Rogan? If you have, how did it go?
I rolled with Joe a long time ago when we were at Carlson Gracie's studio for just a couple of minutes. I remember, but that nothing. It was just we were both white belts.
Joe's a beast, though. Don't get it
Joe's a
twisted.
legit black belt, from what I understand.
I would never. I just have too much respect, and I wouldn't go hard. It's just this weird thing. Me and Joe have never like done any of that stuff.
Also, Joe knows. He also knows that's Brennan's really, really just much bigger, and it's really hard when you're a black belt and you're of a different frame. I've seen this over and over again. You can be so good. You can be literally like one of the best in the world. If you weigh 165, I'm sorry, but when you're with a giant black belt who did it for as long as Brendan, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. It's fine, but I've seen it over and
He's
over.
a lot older than me too, and he's such a mentor. I would never hurt him or even attempt to do any of that stuff. Like me and Bryan will fuck around, but Bryan's it's different. I would just let him do whatever. Like I wouldn't try hard.
I've seen you do that. I've seen you roll with. I've seen you roll with really high level guys, and when we were doing that round robin, and you were just kind of rolling around.
No, now if it's a guy my size and I know he's going full go, then it's game on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's game on.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen when the problem is when guys kind of challenge you and then they're really big.
Then I'm on.
And then you go, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, then it's on. Then I bust out all the tricks.
Yeah.
Then it's on.
Yeah.
Then I'm game.
Yeah. That was how long ago was that when we were rolling at Tarek's in Power?
8 years ago?
That was when Jake gave Tarek his black belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
8 years ago, Bryan?
Yeah. And you were legitimately rolling back then. Yeah.
This question's for Bryan. I don't like when they call you Rinks, by the way.
I do.
That's
I don't.
his nickname.
I don't like it. I don't know.
Go on.
But
It's a great nickname. Or it's Big Gay Al.
Yeah.
Which one do you like? Pick your poison.
this person says, you never spoke about how you fixed your psoriasis. Come on, man. Give us the cure.
Okay,
Stress.
so
Also,
It's stress. And he's going to say nightshades, but it's stress.
No. Yeah. Well,
He's
no,
going to say
I'll tell you something
tomatoes
else,
and
though,
shit.
actually.
Also, I got a hair transplant in Turkey. It worked great. Go get yours done.
Yes, I like this guy.
That I could do.
He's never doing it, by the way.
No, I will. But now here's the thing. With psoriasis, so they're finding that autoimmune diseases like this a lot of times are linked to the gut. And I'll tie stress into this for a second.
It's all stress.
I did a gut profile by two different places, and I had a prevalence of a certain bacteria that is connected to certain
Nightshades.
No, it's connected to certain
Semen.
autoimmune diseases like psoriasis. I changed my gut profile, got rid of that bacteria, it never came back. But there's another thing about stress. When apparently you have stress, the mucus lining in your stomach that covers, that protects you, retracts for a weird reason. And when it retracts, foods like nightshades, whatever you might be allergic to, can create, exacerbate the autoimmune reaction already. So you'll respond to wheat or whatever it is. But once I changed my gut profile, I never had.
Bryan had psoriasis when he's going through the whole cancellation shit, and then I had psoriasis when I was dealing with all my shit. Remember, it was all over my legs.
Oh, that's right.
It was bad.
That's right. Divorce,
dude. I thought
all of that
yours
stuff. Divorce,
perfect
cancellation.
Storm. Yours was perfect. Storm.
COVID.
Yours was perfect storm.
Disaster.
And then mine was just all the bullshit I was dealing with. And then once that went away and I wasn't stressed, it all went away. But when it first started, I had like a big splotch on my rib.
remember that, bro.
I thought I was Tom Hanks from Philadelphia. I was like, I have AIDS.
I remember that.
I have AIDS.
That's how stressed you were.
I have AIDS. And then it was all over my legs, all over my arms. And I thought it was from the fish tanks, constantly being changing out the water. I thought it was the chemicals. It was just all the stress.
Stress is a huge part of your life.
Stress kills people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how to get rid of stress, everybody? I swear to God, just tell the truth. Just fucking tell the truth. Just align yourself.
No, that doesn't work, because when you're dealing with your cancellation and divorce, that has nothing to do with it. Sometimes stress comes financially. There's no telling the truth.
No, yeah. I mean,
that doesn't help anybody.
Stress,
tell the truth.
But just also you'll be stronger if you just fucking get rid of all the lying. What I mean by lies is lying to yourself. I just mean you might be in a job you hate, might be in a relationship you hate, whatever it is, just you're lying to yourself. Just sometimes you have to purge and just have to just align yourself with the truth, no matter what.
That doesn't help too many people, because also some people work in a job it has to pay the bills. That's what they have to do.
That's right. That's true.
And the truth, that's
true.
The guy has the truth.
Cocaine's a nice.
This guy has the
bumps.
truth. The guy's truth is this job sucks, but I have to do it to feed my kids.
Well, then that's the truth. That's fine.
But he
sometimes
knows
you gotta
that, but
admit
you're still going to be stressed as fuck.
Yeah. Create your
Sometimes there's not a catchy saying for this shit.
That's true.
Sometimes everyone goes through stress, man.
That's true. Sometimes,
I'm stressed as
sometimes
fuck
there's not a
now.
catchy saying. Sometimes that's a great line.
Yeah, there's not a catchy saying.
Sometimes
for
there's
everyone.
not a catchy saying for this situation. Sometimes the only way out is through. Sometimes you got to fucking just bite the bullet.
The catchy saying is you don't stop.
There you go.
That's the catchy
And I'll tell you this. If you're going through a really hard time, don't not work out because you quote unquote don't have time. Don't start eating shit food because you don't have time to eat well. Don't do those things. People fall into these weird traps.
Think about me when I had psoriasis. I didn't work out for 6 months, the longest I've ever gone.
And you were
6
drinking,
that's
and you were
insane.
drinking, and you were doing
I was
Adderall.
drinking, overdosing on Adderall every day, kratom. I was just fucking.
You were a drug addict, basically,
an alcoholic,
and an alcoholic.
and didn't work
Drinking
out.
at 10 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I never put it together. I don't know why I didn't say, hey, I was dealing with my own shit.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't notice.
I was like, fuck.
No one noticed.
You were just so swollen.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't do. Don't do
Worst
that.
thing,
Assume the position. Like behave. It's like that great saying, behave as though God exists. Behave as though you're winning, you're killing it. Even if you're going through hell, get that workout in. I don't give a fuck if it's 10 minutes. Just do 10 minutes. Do 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna help you deal with the stress.
Yes.
Yeah, I had alcohol problem, Adderall problem, stress with the family, stress at work, and then
Wrestling with the sexuality. There's so much going on.
all that. You can't get enough black cock, and then also dealing with people stole $2 million from us.
Oh, well, there was that. Yeah, there was that.
And then that's when the fucking killer came out. I was like, say less.
Yeah.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I remember someone told me when I was going through a hard time once, and it was the best advice ever, was the only way out is through.
Yeah.
That's a
You just
Hallmark
have to go
card, but some of that stuff that triggers me. It's like,
Yeah.
but it's you just got to keep going.
What was it you said one time? It's like people who post inspirational messages on Instagram, none of those people are killing it.
Never, never.
No, none of those people are
Never.
Hey, stop talking about
Never.
like what you have to do. Just do the thing.
Amen.
Never.
Yeah, and another thing for you guys out there. Is that for us?
Who are you doing this for, bud?
Yeah, and I don't need fucking seagulls in the background of your dumb fucking message.
This question is just silly. A lot of men swing the other way when they go to prison due to lack of women company. Brandon, if you got stranded on an island with Bryan, how long would it take for you to turn him into your man wife?
This is a good
3
question.
hours.
Yeah, it's a good question. And I would struggle.
The answer's
I'd
3
be like,
hours.
No, I can't.
Because I would just figure we're not getting off this island. Why wait?
And I would be like this.
And they're like, bro, you're in Hawaii. Oh, you're just gay.
Dude, we're in Hawaii, bro. I swear to God, there's
Buddy,
a boat
you're in
coming.
Tahiti. There's people everywhere. There's a cell
You
phone
never
right
know.
there. You never
There are
know,
clouds
man.
in the sky, which means this hurricane could blow
Those
for a
waves are
long
picking
time.
up, man. I don't know.
Pick a spot
I'm gonna have
on the
to
wall.
fuck Bryan.
Pick a spot on the wall because I'm gonna fuck.
Brendan's just gay. No. I didn't think we'd get out.
And then I would say this. I'd go, can we?
You guys were in a 4 seasons.
And I'd go, can we not? Can I at least face you?
Absolutely not.
No, because I got to look at your limp cock and balls.
Ugh,
I
God.
never thought of that, but some guys have. That's how a lot of guys like. It's. I always think of gay sex as, the guy's on his hands and knees. No, dude. Sometimes it's face to face. You understand? Yeah, I know, but
I feel sick.
no. Hey, hold on. Get the knees on the shoulders. Hold on. Take it easy.
Like guard?
Brother, listen, why not? We got to look at each other sometimes because we're in love. You understand?
But then your stick's on the tummy.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Oh God, I feel sick.
So
dude.
wait, so
this is
the-
how I
the
know
old-
you're
the
gay.
old
I've
stick
never
and
thought of
everything's
this.
over here. I know.
Why are you thinking of that?
Because there's
This is why you have psoriasis.
Nope, there was
You're
a scene.
fighting
there
your
was a-
gayness.
Nope, I saw a thing on South African jails.
South
guy-
African Wales.
Jails. This guy
Oh,
went to
gotcha.
the worst jails in the world, and there was a guy who ran the South African jail, and he would fuck dudes face to face. And they
That's
goes,
a
"That
gay
make you
man.
gay?" He goes, "No, it doesn't make me gay. It's just what I do. He makes washes my clothes, cleans my fucking thing, and he goes, and I have sex face to face like that." He was a total psychotic, and I was like,
Total
"Wow,
gay man.
a very gay man."
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to bang.
This all
a
goes
guy.
back to telling the truth. It
goes back to telling
dude.
the
He's
truth.
a gay face to face,
Right.
kissing him and shit.
That'd be tough. Where it's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna fuck you, and you're gonna look me in the eye, and that would be 4 Seasons Tahiti, where I was like, we're not on a stranded island.
Yeah, I feel sick. What else you got? So now let's get me out of here.
Okay. This is
me outta
another
here.
one for Brendan. To make fights more exciting and maybe produce more stars, should the UFC scrap the win bonus and replace it with a finish bonus?
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I would see. I would like it if they didn't limit it to what is it 3 now performance bonuses, or they do 3 performance bonuses. I think if you get a finish, there should be a bonus whether you're on the prelims or the main card. So if there's 15 finishes, you're giving out 15 finish bonuses. And maybe it's 25K on top of whatever your pay is, or 50K, but that would incentivize those guys to go for the finish.
Yeah.
And then the Dagestani's are like, what about me? Well, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have 4 post-fight bonuses. I'm saying it would be nice if they did 50, but if it was 25 for anybody that gets a finish, anybody, and on top of the 4 performance bonuses. So if you get a finish and a post-fight bonus, you're looking at $75K, 50 and 25. 25 for the finish, 50 for the fight of the night. That'd be cool.
Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. That means laughter is free with gut-busting comedies like The Neighborhood, Boomerang, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller.
Mystery is free with countless cases to crack from Criminal Minds, Tracker, and Matlock.
I'm a lawyer, like the old TV show.
And thrills are free with heart-pumping hits like The Walking Dead and Pulp Fiction.
Correctamundo.
Feel the free Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Let's take a little break, kids. Oh, look, am I wearing True Classic? Yeah, I am. Look at my t-shirt. Am I wearing True Classic underwear? Yeah, I am. I don't think there's been a day when I've been on stage, whether I've been at the mothership, whether I've been walking around the street, that I'm not wearing something from True Classic. Why? Because of the quality. Because when I wash it 10 times, it still looks good. It doesn't break down. The sweatshirts are unbelievable. The t-shirts always fit great. The jeans always look great. And more importantly, they look good and great after you've washed them. And that's how I feel. No awkward tight spots. They're not too long. It's 1,000 things. The genius of True Classic is they figured out that men are very particular about their t-shirts. They figured out that, you know what, guys will have like, I actually learned about True Classic because my buddy Stevie was like, I like these shirts from True Classic. They look at how they fit. Then I tried one that he gave me, and I was like, dude, I like the way it fits around my arms. And that was it. I was done. Then, of course, I met the founder, and the rest is history. So, forget all this overpriced designer nonsense. Skip the cheap throwaways. True Classic delivers premium essentials built for real life. You can get them now at Target and Costco. You can get the full line practically. So head to trueclassic.com/fighter or go to Target or Costco, and you will not be sorry. So, Magic Mind has come out with something I'm addicted to. It's called Magic Mind Max. And what that means is I drink 1 cup of coffee and then I have my Magic Mind Max. And this has the same technology pharmaceutical companies use when for time release. And this is, I believe, the first product on the market that has time-released caffeine in it. You get a sharper mind, calm energy, stress resilience. But more importantly, it's got all these different like adaptogen mushrooms, all these different nootropics, antioxidants, vitamins, but it's got 165 milligrams of time-released caffeine. You gotta try it. I've been sending it to my friends because I've said this is a game changer. I think for the company and definitely for me because I take it every day. And my only problem is I want to take 2 all the time, but I'm only taking 1 because then I'll be, But the thing about the ingredients is that it does release over time. So you don't feel like you're kind of going crazy. It's got L-theanine, it's got ashwagandha, it's got turmeric, it's got vitamin B2, 3, B12, C, and D. It's got lion's mane, bacopa, cognizine. I'm reading all these. It's got rhodiola, cordyceps, matcha, all this stuff. But either way, it's just great. And so I can't recommend Magic Mind Max enough. If you don't like caffeine, they got Magic Mind regular, and they got Magic Mind free. The sleep shot, I am hearing nothing but good things about. It's got the magnesium, the type of magnesium helps you sleep. So give that a shot as well. Magic Mind, it is the future, and I'm excited.
This is to both of you. Will we ever see Skylar Aston back on the podcast? Those episodes were hilarious.
Just saw
Would you
that
see
man
him?
at
I haven't seen him. I was just thinking about
It
him.
was so great. We hung out. It was so good to see him. He's still funny as ever. He's
crushing it. So talented. He's on Broadway and
so
shit.
talented. You know what?
He was in the Oscars.
I got to call him because I miss Skylar and we miss him. And he's great, man. Was he at the Oscars?
Yeah.
What's he up to
Singing.
lately?
He's
What's
on
he doing?
Broadway and shit, dude.
He's doing a lot of shows.
He's
He's
huge.
killing it.
Yeah, he
He had his own show on ABC or NBC, I think. He's crushing it.
Yeah, he's really great, man.
He used to sing the intro for the Big Brown Breakdown.
He did a bunch, dude. Actually, he did like at least
we love
3.
Skylar.
He's the best.
Yeah, I just had a great time with him. We were there and hanging out. He was with the guys from Rage Against the Machine or something.
He's so talented.
Yeah, killer.
All right, let's go past that.
Yeah.
Handsome
good
bastard.
guy. So talented.
He's a voice in Wreck-It Ralph.
No.
Yeah,
That's
he is.
John C. Reilly.
No, he's not
So help
the
me,
voice.
Todd.
He's a
He was
voice.
in that.
Go up.
That is.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Roy.
Yeah, he's one of the
Yeah.
characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, look, he's
Pitch
an actor.
Perfect. He was
He's an actor.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's what it
amazing.
is.
Yeah, he's
always working.
Stupid talented.
I do remember he was on Grey's Anatomy. He had a little arc there.
Trollstopia.
Yeah, I love Skyler. Love him.
Yeah.
Love him to death.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another show he was on that was like popular. So help me, Todd.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's CBS. I said NBC. It's CBS.
I never saw it.
You guys get it.
Yeah.
Brendan, what was the big change in your car life? I mean, you used to be a Ferrari GT2 sport car kind
Yes.
of guy. Now it's all about trucks and being, quote, I'm American and proud. What
Yep.
caused the big change?
A ton of stuff. I'm still into Porsches.
COVID.
I'm looking at Porsche right now. Yeah, COVID and just the whole political landscape
Attack on
changing.
America. Yeah.
But the attack on America, the whole transition to electric cars and dependent on Chinese charging stations. And then the biggest thing too is like my favorite thing to do is mod cars. But when I mod my exotics, it ruins the value of them. Like it fucks them,
Really?
destroys
If you
them.
mod a Porsche.
Especially a Porsche.
Yeah.
Like I modded my GT2, and then when I had sold it, I had to put it all back to stock, and it took
wow.
forever. It was super
Really?
expensive. And there's no more purist than a Porsche fan. Like the pure Porsche guys, they'll follow everything. And not that they're fans, they'll follow it to make sure you don't mod it. Wow. Because they know you're going to sell it. So when I put mine up for sale, they're like, don't touch it. He modded this, he did this. You're like, holy shit, you guys pay attention. The Ferraris, you want to mod them? Okay, you're looking at least 30,000 to touch any mod on it. 15 to 20,000. So it was actually my brother's like, man, you should get into like some of the Ford stuff, some of the diesel stuff, some of these American, the LS platforms, all that stuff, the Hellcats, because you can mod the fuck out of those and nobody cares. So it was a combination of two things: the anti-American movement and the assassination of like all the shit when it comes to American cars. And I like V8s, and most of that's American. So it's like V8, all that, and the mods. Really, it's the mods, and there's cool shit you can do, and it's way cheaper, way easier.
So you
There's
would
more
never
parts.
you would never mod a Ferrari.
People do,
Yeah, but
but the value goes.
wow.
So when you go to resell it, you're fucked.
Damn.
But certain American cars you mod, it increases the
You
value.
want the original seats, you want your
Can't touch them.
yeah.
And I like to touch everything. I don't buy anything and leave it like everybody
You
else.
have, you have real probs.
It's what I like to do.
No, you got
it's
probs
my
now,
passion.
right?
But I've always done it. I've always fucked with everything I've had.
But why?
That's what I like to do.
Isn't it better when it comes out of the stock?
No, God, that's gay. This is how I know you fuck guys face to face. When you mod a car, it actually enhances the car.
So insulting.
It should be. It's meant to be. If you do the right
Yeah, man, I'm
mods,
just
it
asking
actually
a
makes the
question. Why
car
you gotta-
better, a better drive, everything. But it's more efficient.
I'm just asking questions.
But I'm also growing up. I'm also not chasing horsepower anymore. Like I have the 1,000 horsepower cars. I have the 1,300 horsepower trucks. They're tough, man. Like the sweet spot's like 700 to 800. They're perfect, reliable. You can drive them every day.
Yeah.
When you're chasing horsepower, you're chasing the drive.
If I got a truck for Texas, what would I get?
Nothing.
Wait till
Cybertruck.
Tesla makes
That
a
flying
truck.
car and fuck guys face to face.
A Rivian. That's an electric
Should I get that
truck.
little aeronaut, that motorcycle that flies?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Fly
And then
that naked.
Put my boyfriend on the back of it.
Two,
or actually, I'm
two
in
won't
the
fit
back.
on there.
No.
You're gonna have to get a twink because that's
So then
lifting me.
maybe fly the aeronaut and then get,
No, just fly. Just use the aeronaut that doesn't have many
or
miles.
just have sex with guys and not buy that aeronaut.
Just that.
I think it's a Volanaut or something like that.
Can't even get the name.
You and
Yeah,
Sam
yeah.
Tripoli always turn me into a power bottom. If I say something to Sam that's anti-conspiracy, he goes, Bryan is fucking just taking it.
What is this?
That's me getting power bottomed.
That's him
Ow.
getting fisted.
Out.
That's
I'm
him
just
getting
getting my
fisted.
shitter cleaned out.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a two-part
You just give off
question.
that vibe.
Yeah. My shoes.
So this is two parts.
I like the shoes.
If Brendan and Bryan had switched bodies like Freaky Friday for a week, what are the things they'd be doing? And Who thinks they can act more like each other if they were to switch bodies and convince their friends and family?
I would go around just tapping the shit out of everybody. I'd go around in Austin. I'd be like, look who's in town. That-ang. And I go, just want to throw my weight around. That's what I would do.
Do you think that people would believe you were Brendan?
No, because I'd be giggling too much.
Yeah, they'd be like, why are you dancing all the time? Yeah.
And then
his
what about
prance,
you, B?
I would do some real dirty shit to his wife.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Where she'd be like, what the fuck is going on? It'd be like someone lending me their fucking ZR1. They're gonna get it back. That thing's gonna
Dude,
be
it's dust.
fucked up.
What'd you take it? Off-roading?
No, dude, yeah, that thing's gonna be fucked
What the fuck?
up.
The axle's bent? What
like,
the
what
fuck
is
this?
happening? What happened? I'm like, then we'll switch
Why?
back. I'm like, thanks, bud. Here's the keys.
Why didn't I think of that? I don't know why. Oh my God! You are an outrage. The mother of my 2 young children.
Nah,
Kids got to go down for a nap, right?
we need
What?
we need the babysitter 7 days a week. I'm like, this week you do.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, listen, that's fair.
You asked.
It's fair. It's fair.
Attractive lady. What
Very
can you
attractive
do?
lady.
I cannot get over what just happened.
She'd be like, why are you renting a babysitter? Why are you always in blackface?
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was our thing.
This is so uncool. Why are you videotaping this? It's for Bryan later. Oh. No.
Okay. Here's kind of a thoughtful one. If you had to choose between storming the beaches in Normandy or living out what happened in Lone Survivor, Mark Wahlberg movie, which would you choose, each of you?
Lone Survivor, because Normandy, you lose all your friends. Normandy was hellish.
Normandy was like you're just running towards bullets
Yeah.
and praying to God one doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
It's just total chaos.
And it was-
Lone Survivor, at least I have somewhat of a chance.
Yeah.
I'm dying in both because I don't have the skill set, but Lone Survivor.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances athletically against those Afghanis.
You know, Marcus Luttrell was so broken up and beaten up. Gave all the money that he made from that movie and the book to his SEAL team.
Marcus Luttrell,
families.
you're thinking of American Sniper.
No, Marcus Luttrell was Lone Survivor.
Oh,
American
yeah.
Sniper was Chris Kyle.
That's right. Chris Kyle, his family donated the money too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Normandy is mayhem.
Yeah.
Okay,
What,
here's
that new Chasing Bin Laden doc on Netflix. Ooh wee.
Oh, really?
Ooh wee
I
wee.
ain't seen it.
Oh,
Really?
it dropped last night. That should have make your American dick so hard.
yeah.
Oh, you should watch it.
I will.
It's so
you
good.
get some bad motherfuckers.
Well, they have
out
all
there.
the head anti-terrorism
Yeah.
people. Oh, and they're talking about when they're watching the planes
Mm-hmm.
crash, and the head CIA guy goes, "Well, there could be one head for us." He goes, "Okay, then we'll die, but we have to stay here." That's what
Langley.
happens. He's like,
Langley.
"We're in war." He's like, "We're
We're
gonna
in war.
die." And he's like, "This wing's gonna die. That's the plan, but we got to stay here and track it down and do our job." He's like, "That's what
Wow.
everyone signed up for." And he goes, "And nobody bat an eye."
No.
And they were talking about when Bush was like, "I want these guys," and his head guy there at the time,
Go for black.
his head guy at the time was like, "Well, it's going to take us 6 months to, get to Afghanistan and do the thing." And then a guy not even around the table sitting in the back goes, "I'll have flies sitting on his eyeballs in 6 weeks." And he goes, "You're hired."
They called him they called him the eyeball
And he
guy.
took the job.
Yes. He said, sir, because Cofer Black said, I think it was Cofer Black who said it. So
He was the guy not sitting at the
Yeah,
table. He was in the back and doesn't really
yeah,
speak
Cofer
up.
Black said,
And you're really not allowed to.
he said, sir, their eyes they'll die with their eyes open and flies will crawl across their eyeballs.
And George Bush went, "You're hired."
Yeah, and do you know what Cofer Black said to the triple nickel team, the first team that went in? He said, "What's the mission, sir?" And he said, "I want
his head.
Osama bin Laden's head in a
On
box
ice.
in dry ice on my
Yep.
desk."
Yep.
And he goes, haha, and he goes, "I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
That's what I want." He goes, "Those are the clearest marching orders I've ever had." You wake up you let slip the American dogs of war.
Good luck.
It's going to be a bad
Nobody
day.
better. And when they knew the Taliban who were protecting Bin Laden stuff were in like the caves in the mountains, they released more bombs there. It was the most bombs they've ever dropped since World War II.
Yes.
And just and they all retreated.
Yeah.
We blew them the fuck up. And they thought they got Bin Laden, but they didn't there. Then the rest is history.
Yes.
The boys got a hold of them.
Here's a question for both of you. What are your thoughts on the GFL canceling their events in LA? And do either of you think they will ever have an event at this point?
I don't know. That stuff's always a gamble. I think what happened with them is they had a good idea and it gave an outlet to fighters, which I support. But then the amount of money it costs to put a promotion like that on is such an enormous amount of money. And their backer was just, probably seeing all the negativity and ticket sales was like, I'm out, man. And so their funding went away. So they're looking for funding. I bet they'll pop up somewhere eventually, but it's tough. I don't know. PFL's eating cock right now. Like UFC's the only one making a profit. So It's a monopoly. It just is. But all major sports leagues are. It's not necessarily a bad thing, even though people want to hate on it.
Okay. Will you guys be attending any Texas football games like Joe Rogan does?
Oh yeah, I'll be going to the baseball games though, because I know the hitting coach for the Texas Longhorns.
Oh really? Well, I want to bring my son.
Does he play baseball?
No, my 3-year-old. He'd love it.
Oh yeah. But for T and Bosty, who play baseball, but they're number 1 ranked team in the nation.
Wow. Oh, this is not a pro team. This is a high school team.
It's a college team.
This is why you can't come. This is why I don't want you around.
Not bad.
No, you're not coming.
No, I just want to.
You embarrass me.
No, but it's for my son.
And you tell him stories and shit, and then we won't get his stories,
Yeah.
Now
let me come. What is it? The Texas Longhorns?
Yeah, it's high school. Go to high school.
Let's go, guys.
Brian's going to come in on his helicopter.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
No, Texas football's number 1, and their baseball team's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Brendan, due to the fact that you're moving to Texas and letting Eric and Chris take over Golden Hour essentially, do you have any plans on starting something similar while down in Austin?
I
think you're busy enough.
I would say you never know.
I don't have any plans. No, I wouldn't launch another comedy podcast. You never, to Brian's point, you never know, but no, I could use a break, man.
Yeah, I think so. Kind of touched on this in the last episode. What do y'all think of Makhachev moving up to welterweight and vacating his title?
I called it a long time ago.
He's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Without the weight cut, he's a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think also he'll be very strong at 170 in terms of not having to cut so much weight.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, it'll be good for him.
But I also think for JDM, he had the perfect dress rehearsal against a lower level version of Makhachev, fighting Bilal. So he's kind of gone through it. Then he has Craig Jones in his corner, who's the Dagestani assassin. Every fighter he coaches beats Dagestanis. He just has that special sauce.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Austin Dotson wants to know, when did you two first meet and what sparked such a beautiful friendship?
Boy, we've gone over this story 1,000 times, but go ahead.
Met him in Vegas. I was brought in by Nate Marquardt to
Tough 14.
Talk to Tough 14. And I walked in and I went, because I had talked to Nate about not reading, psychological mindset, performance mindset, because I had gone through my own battles with it. He found it very helpful. He said, can you talk to the guys about it? And I was like, I get in there and I'm like, oh, this is not the place for me to talk about this. I think I'll just be funny. And then you guys came to my show that night.
Yep.
And then
Shane Carwin.
You were living very close to me.
The next week I was moving to Venice, California.
And we just started hanging out, really. Yeah. We just got along, man, and just got along. I didn't really know any fighters, back then.
Yeah.
But what I thought was interesting was that you weren't a meathead. Like you were this giant guy who was really interested in other shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then
you used to always correct my English. Remember how bad my English was?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Well, you just didn't have an education. You had you majored in sports, so we would sit on a plane and I would tutor you.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. I knew how smart you were. It was just more that you just hadn't been exposed to certain things. Remember, I'd go, you have to know this stuff, and then you would.
Yep.
And then you would hang out with me and some of my friends, and you'd be like, oh fuck, I got some holes.
That's the dumbest guy in the room, according to that.
Yeah,
stuff.
in that stuff.
Like history.
But it's not dumb. It's just that you weren't exposed to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we ended up fucking. But it was just hanging out, and then we just spent time together.
And then it was Brian's idea to start a podcast.
It was all comedy, man. It was just laughing.
That was fun.
We would just hang out and have a laugh, right? We'd just go hang out, and my friends would always say, who are comics, they would always be like,
that guy's really funny, or he tells good stories, or they were always surprised that you could hang the way you did. And you were so interested in what we were doing, never about sports or fighting.
No.
Like they'd ask you about fighting and you'd be like, yeah, that's great. Anyway, it was like, oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a simpler time.
To be fair, too, it was a simpler time because people didn't know the UFC too much.
People didn't know the UFC. I was like this mystery. I just came to the town.
Yeah.
You
were bigger than everybody else.
I didn't have kids, so I was just, I didn't have a girl, so I was just hanging out.
Yeah.
I'd always just hang.
And girls, I called you Hungry Eyes because all the girls liked you. But you were also he would come to these parties, these Hollywood parties, and we'd have like lots of famous people. And he would stand with his legs super wide open because he was really self-conscious of being so tall. And he'd be like, he goes, hey, I'm enormous. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah. That's too big.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm enormous.
Excuse me. I'm enormous.
This one's pretty good. It's asking you, what's the biggest thing you've learned after having kids? I'm 27 now and have so much more under my belt, but how would you feel about having kids at my age?
He's 27? Mm-hmm. I didn't have my first kid till I was like, what's Tiger, 9? So I didn't have my first kid till I was 30-something, 32, 33, right? No, it's 34 if he's 9, right? Kid's the best thing I've ever done. It's so cliche, and it's all.
What's the biggest thing you learned?
Nothing else really matters.
Yeah, for me, it's somebody else's happiness is more important than my own, and that includes their mother. And there's something really cool about being a man and knowing that other people come first, and they're more important than you are.
I think especially for what we do, like especially as comics, podcasters, like it's all about you. You're on the road. You're the star of the show. It's all. Then you get home, and it's no one gives a fuck.
Yes.
Like it's not about you.
Yes.
The kids have to get to school. Kids have baseball. Kids dealing with this at school. Like it's not about you.
Yeah.
Like it's so good for guys that have always kind of lived one way. I think.
You also have very little control. I hate to tell you, in life, it makes you look up a little bit more.
I think the biggest thing for me too is, and it's just, this is facts, 75% of the time you spend with your kid are in his first 12 years. After that, he goes on to do his thing, he's his friends, family, and all that shit. So once I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, I gotta make it count. So that's why I started coaching T's teams and being at every practice and Bosty's practice and get more involved. That scared me.
Okay. Here's one for both of you. What's one thing about each of you that you would want us to know, since you've been so open with your lives?
Yeah, you know everything.
Yeah, you guys kind of got it.
I mean,
you guys really are who you are, though. I can attest to that.
I know no secrets here. I mean, I'm
no, the internet will try. The internet will try to tell you one thing, but they're so off.
I'm as big an idiot.
Like I'll see the internet say stuff about whoever in our universe, whoever it is, not just Rogan, like Dave Smith or whoever it is, Schultz, Theo. Oh my God, they're so off. Yeah. They're so wrong about these guys. Oh my God, they're so off.
We all do it. You get to know somebody, it's different.
Do you guys want one more? Do you want to do current events?
I think we're good.
You're good?
Current events. Let's do current events.
We'll do like a couple.
Get out of here in a bit.
I think one of them we should definitely do.
Which one? Oh.
So a lot of people saw this clip of Theo Von getting a little aggressive with a fan.
Love it.
We have the clip of that, and then we have the fan's explanation of what happened.
I listened to the fan.
Let me hear the fan. I don't know what's going on.
Can I just give you the footnotes because this guy's annoying?
No, let me hear him.
All right.
All right, give us the Theo Von thing. Before you even show me what the fan said, before you even know. I mean, clearly the fan's drunk, right? But Theo has to take a little accountability. Like if you're gonna hang out at bars, like you're gonna deal with drunk people. Like bars serve alcohol.
I don't know if this guy was that drunk.
So you're dealing with dumbasses, but you're dealing with dumbasses. Like, and Theo's so famous now.
Yeah,
Theo's so famous. He's at the Trump shit. He's on Rogan. His show's massive. Theo's at a different level now. So Theo just has to be smart and also not hang out at bars because nothing good's going to come from it.
Yeah.
But let me see what this idiot said.
So first, this is the video that was on TMZ.
You can tell Theo like back, and he's holding balloons.
Jason, drop it.
So you're watching the guy invade Theo's space, and Theo's like, back the fuck up, dude. And Theo grabbed him by the neck, proud of him. So I'd put that hard scarf on his ass. So what's the fan say there?
You'll see here.
Hey, I'm the fan who got choked out by Theo Vaughn. Let me tell you what actually happened. So I'm not just a random fan. I live in Nashville. I play music full time. That's me. All of this happened on May 2nd. You can see right there. Which also happened to be my birthday. I had my gig from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. My friends brought me cake. They brought me balloons. The bar brought me sparklers. So when Theo walked in, he didn't have any security with him. So people were walking up to him, talking to him, taking photos. I finished my show. This was like 10:18. Nobody in my party had talked to him yet, not even me. We thought it would be a funny video idea to get him and me popping my birthday balloons together because he's a comedian. I was trying to be courteous because he was
but he's not working, bud.
at the moment. So in this next video, you can actually hear me say, I don't want to interrupt their conversation.
Yeah, but you did.
I was waiting my turn to talk.
None of that matters.
Everybody was all just standing around.
It just looks like a misunderstanding.
Hold on, let me
see. Nobody was bothering anybody. I mean, I'll show you the full video. That's the guy I was waiting for, who I didn't want to interrupt.
He doesn't seem like a bad guy. It sounds like a misunderstanding.
Let me see what happens there.
This is where the video that you've seen starts. I went up and I said, will you pop some balloons with me? He turned away and looked like I said something offensive. I leaned in and said, hey man, I'm a fan, I'm just messing with you. He turned back around and then aggressively got in my face right there. I was confused, so you can see me lean in and say, what? And that's when he grabbed my throat and shoved me back. What happened was a completely uncalled for reaction. Especially when you consider the facts that nobody in my party had been badgering him for hours.
Well, he doesn't know that.
We hadn't even talked to him. This was a 14-second interaction, and that was it. As an entertainer in downtown Nashville, I get being overwhelmed by crowds and people coming up to you all the time.
But you still came up to him.
I get to unplug and go home, and I feel for Theo where he probably can't get away from that a lot more easily than I can. And post-surgery, I was 1 week back from recovery. This could have ended my career, but luckily there was no damage to my vocal cords and neck.
Damage.
Sympathy or anything else.
That annoys me.
That the celebrities that you see on camera can be completely different people.
He's annoying. He fucking annoys me. This guy annoys the shit out of me.
Fuck off.
That so by the way,
hey, first of all, it didn't choke you.
No.
He pushed you away, and it could have been a lot worse.
And no, it wasn't going to damage your dumb vocal cords.
Stupid back.
He's annoying. This guy is annoying. By the way he plays the guitars, he's not a bad guy. my take on it, not a bad guy. Misunderstanding. Theo probably thought he was being weird, and he's generally a little annoying.
But that guy sucks. But also, who knows what the fans before him did? This guy's coming with balloons. They're in Theo's face. He's like, back up, dude. And he goes, what? Clearly, Theo's not in the mood. Just back. Especially you being in entertainment, you should read the room and know what the fuck's going on. He doesn't want to be bothered. On the other side of that, Theo, he's at such a high level now of fame, you can't be hanging out in bars, dude. Nothing good's going to come from it. And Theo's, sober, trying to stay sober.
Typically, people are pretty cool.
You don't want to be in bars, dude.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to be. They're not cool. You don't want to be in bars because that guy probably thought he was being cool.
Yeah.
Theo's there, probably meeting people, friends or whatever.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And that's why Rogan has to have security. Theo is at a point. Theo's at a point. He's not far from Rogan. He needs security. If you're going to go out, or at least you need your boys.
Right.
I'm nowhere near as famous. I would never go to a bar.
And people do get in your face. People will.
And they're not being rude.
No,
they're not being.
They're
not
drunk,
assholes.
They get real familiar and touchy and grabby.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're not, especially if they're drunk and they're happy to see you, they're not concerned with what you have going on. They just want to get their thing out.
They want their thing.
Yeah.
And for Theo, he's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Theo's such a good dude. Like that's it's been over it. I don't know what happened with Theo prior to that, whatever the in interaction was with the fans before that, but Theo just
been in a mood or whatever. But
just fucking had it.
Yeah, I don't mind that guy.
He definitely didn't choke him.
No, and that guy was fine. That guy didn't understand something. It was a misunderstanding. But to make the video like that, hey dude, can you just stop? Like you're annoying.
He's gonna see what Theo's fan base is like. That Rat King fan basically fucking
It's
light
just-
you
he's
up.
a
You're
little-
that show. Might want to lay low.
He's a little annoying. He's just a tad. Yeah, an adult man turning his back to you is obviously a sign to leave him alone, no matter what you said or didn't say. Still with Theo on this.
The majority of people are
fine.
gonna be with Theo. Do you want to compliment? You're so embarrassing, clout chasing. I'll pay your bills for you if that's what you want.
Keep grinding, superstar.
You finally went viral. Yeah, you just don't need this dude. He should have made a
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, you can
His video
see-
should have been like, yeah, I fucked up. I should have known.
Yeah.
For those back in Theo Von, performers in Nashville deal with a rowdy, unfiltered crowds every single day. We get grabbed. No, you don't. Drinks thrown at us. Because
don't
your
know.
music sucks. All without the luxury of paid protection like Theo can
Hey,
afford.
J. Greg or G.E. Greg, you're not in the area code of Theo Von. You don't deal with it. He deals with it
buddy.
all day, every day.
Nonstop.
Hang out with him. Hang out with Joe Rogan. See what happens.
Also, Theo has a unique look where he's not hiding from anybody.
Yeah.
The minute Theo goes to fucking Target, they're like, holy shit, that's Theo Von. Even when he wasn't this famous, he sticks out like a sore thumb. Me and Theo would go to lunch. Everyone's like, holy fuck, that's Theo Von. I can kind of blend in. I look like a ton of people. They might just think I'm a giant Mexican. Theo can't. Theo can't. He's a fucking mullet, for God's sakes. Theo will be
Also,
fine.
also pop my balloons. Get like that.
Also-
Get away from me.
Hey, here's
Hey,
the-
nerd.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
I'm not trying to be mean to this kid. He's
Nah,
probably
I
a nice
am.
guy.
Nah, fuck this guy. You want to make a video clown on Theo? Dude, here's the thing. If you're over the age of 9 and you have balloons on your birthday, you're a fucking tool. There's that.
He's probably a very nice guy. He's just a little needy for attention, and this was.
Also, how'd you think it was going to go? I don't give a fuck who you ask. Can you pop balloons with me? What?
Yeah.
Bud,
That's the same thing as you want to play
I'm
catch.
40.
Yeah.
But what? I'm 40, sir.
Yeah. And
Do
that
you-
was-
Oh,
by the way-
excuse me, sir. What time is it? Are there young kids around? Do I want to pop
And
balloons?
can I
Are
say
you out
something
your
else?
fucking
Can I
mind?
say something else?
Say it.
That had nothing to do with meeting Theo. What that was about was
It's him.
him trying to get more followers
And
get-
post
trying
a
to
video
something
of
that was
me and
popular.
Theo. That's
I get
all it
it.
is.
I get that you
and,
did it.
And he still got it.
Fine.
He got it the wrong way.
Yeah.
He still got it making a stupid
Yeah.
video.
Yes.
And thank God it didn't
fine.
affect my back surgery. Shut the fuck.
No
What's
throat surgery.
No, he said back surgery. What's your back sore from?
Yeah.
Getting fucked, bud? What
Hey,
the
no,
fuck
no,
is your
no.
back sore from? What's it sore from?
No, I would say this. Now, just take it easy. I would say overall, that was all. The
No, you
whole
want your
interaction-
atten- you want your
the
attention,
whole
you
interaction
got it.
was self-serving. It was all self-serving. You weren't there. You were just there to kind of try to, up your profile. It's fine. A little clumsy.
Fine, change
You're,
everything by
you're
your face.
annoying.
Get the fuck out of
But
here.
he's probably a sweet kid.
Honestly, imagine me, right? You guys don't know me, walking into a bar with balloons. You guys don't know me. And I walked up to either of you guys saying, like, can you pop these balloons with me for my birthday?
Get out of my
Would
fucking
you be like,
face.
what the f?
I would probably
do
be
it.
like,
Me and Bryan.
sure,
the,
got
difference
it.
is, the difference is me and Bryan would do it. I would be like, I'd go, really?
right.
Yeah, I'll pop your balloons.
And then I go like this.
I go, is that what you want to do?
No.
And then I go, hey.
It would freak me out if you guys did that to me.
Yeah, well, I'm good.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't be in a bar though. That's the thing with Theo, Bud. He knows this. I've told him this. You can't be hanging out in those areas.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
You just there's
Downtown
nothing.
Nashville.
There's nothing good gonna come from it.
Yeah.
But also, Theo's a lone wolf. He's a one man army too, so he doesn't have boys around
I'm the
him.
fan that got choked out by Theo Von. You're so annoying.
It's
This
so-
guy's annoying.
This guy's a cuck. Choked out? You think that's a choke?
God, he's annoying. Probably drives a.
But
Tesla.
also, if you came up to me, 100%. And it probably fucks face to face. But also, if you're around me, if I'm going out, my brother's with me. Good luck. Good luck getting through the pit bull.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to let you
Jay?
get to me. No,
No.
get fucking luck.
Yeah.
But I
No
would
luck.
never go out by myself, and I can fight. Theo can't.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I wouldn't. Even me, I wouldn't go to a bar by myself. I don't want to deal with those problems.
Jay has such a sweet face, too, but
Yeah.
he would kill
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, well,
He'd kill someone.
not
Yes, he
behind
would.
his face. What else you got?
That's it.
Unless you want more.
Well, it's fun, kids. I'm getting on a plane.
Yeah.
Gotta go back to Texas. I'll be there
no,
soon,
Eugene,
pal.
Oregon.
Oh, that's right. I keep saying
Eugene,
Texas. You
Oregon.
gotta go to
Olson's
Eugene,
Run.
Oregon.
Excited. Selling well. Get your tickets tonight, tomorrow, Saturday. And then we got Oklahoma
This
City.
app's
May
dropping
30th.
on a Saturday, right?
Yes, first time, I think, in a long.
First time in a long time. We see how it goes. But appreciate guys. Love you guys. Drive fast, all gas. Anything you buy on the site automatically enter you to win the brand freaking new TRX Well, final edition with over freaking $50,000 in mods. This thing's loaded. It's so much fun. I drove it today. And you get, if you win, you get $10,000 cash. We got all new merch dropping for Memorial Day. We got Diesel Dad merch dropping on Father's Day. We got a bunch of fun stuff coming up for you guys. We got Methylene Blue on there. We got all sorts of stuff. Become a VIP member. Go to drivefastallgas.com. Good luck, kids. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for the questions. This is the Firing Kid. We're out.
Well, let's talk a little bit about sexual performance booster.
Dude,
without
you're
drugs.
an expert in wieners.
Look, you want to boost your nitric oxide. Blood flow is what it's about. If you want a strong wiener, you need good blood flow. What promotes blood flow? Joy Mode. Why? Because they have all natural supplements that enhance blood flow.
Wait, I won't get all the nasty side effects like I do if I get a prescription or if I go to the gas station get Rhino 50,000.
No, because guess what? With the daily use of true Joy Mode, you get healthier blood vessels, which boost heart health, enhance your athletic performance. Expertly formulated and backed by science, it's proven to improve erectile function by 50% in just 60 days. Now, let me give you a little story. I was told by my doctor to take 5 milligrams of Cialis every day. I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not for, but it just increases, it dilates your blood vessels. Guess what? This stuff, you just take a pack with water, feel the effects within 45 minutes. You can take control with Joy Mode.
All natural, dude. Start a subscription, you get up to 30% off. All right, 30% off.
30%?
So if you're looking to take your wiener game to the next level, visit tryjoymode.com. Use the code FIGHTER at checkout for 20% off single purchases if you just want to try it out. Or if you want the subscription, you get 30% off. That's TRYJOY mode.com. Use the code FIGHTER for 20% off single purchases, 30% off subscription orders. Your wiener will thank you.
Damn.